Welcome to another edition of Focus Forward here on Studio 3. My name is Jamie Salinas, Executive Director of Forward Worthington. Of course, we are the Chamber of Commerce, we are the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Worthington Regional Economic Development Corporation for Worthington and the Worthington area. This time, we're just outside downtown. We're right at that crook where 10th Street becomes McMillan. We are at inside United Prairie Bank, specifically inside the office of Kelly Meyer, who is part of the United Prairie Financial Network. Kelly, thanks a lot. First off, thanks a lot for coming and joining us on this thing. Talk to us about you, basically, because I mean, you're a native. A lot of folks know you. Maybe some of the folks that are watching don't. Fill us in.
Sure. So yeah, I'm originally from Worthington, born and raised here. After college, I lived in Eagan, worked at St. Paul for a while. Met my wife, Heidi, who's a principal at Prairie Elementary. She was from over by Sherburne. And so I came back to Worthington, started working at Ameriprise there as a financial advisor, and then came over to the bank, and I've been at the bank 25 years now. October 6th was my 25th year anniversary. So time flies when you're having fun, I guess, you know. And so yeah, I've been at the bank. It's been a great win-win, and you know, the investment division, I think I have the best job in the entire bank by far. You know? So I really enjoy what I do, and I think it comes through most days. You know, I see that, and it's a job that I can honestly say over the years, you know, I always want to come to work, you know, except for once in a while in the spring and the fall when it's really nice outside. But otherwise, for work-related stuff, I always like to come in. So, yeah.
What was it about being a financial advisor that, you know, when you were in college and stuff and school and everything, what made you want to go down that path?
You know, I think the thing for me is just being able to help people. And, you know, a lot of people are overwhelmed, that they don't understand what a 401k is or how it works or how do I get started. And so you get to walk them through that process. And that's really what I do on a day-to-day basis is just educate what's available, what's out there, how it works, and just help them make those decisions together instead of just, you know, them hodgepodging or doing it on their own and going through the process with them.
And you know, in a day and age, you know, where so much stuff can be done online now, you know, and you can go on some website and, I mean, buy something and you don't know what you're buying half the time. It's good to have somebody that knows what they're doing to kind of guide you, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of clients, you know, that's what they come in and say, you know, I love it that I can sit across from the table and the desk from you and look at you in the eye and talk to you and you can show me, where if you're calling an 800 number, you're getting the same person every time, or you know, you put the information in wrong. The financial plan that you're putting together could be wrong because you're not sure how to run the software or whatever it is. So, and we really and that's the beauty of it too. We get to build relationships with these people because we see them in the office, but we also see them out and about. So, which is great.
Yeah. I say this to my kids all the time, you know, relationships. Let's talk about the process here. Okay, so you're bringing in, someone is coming in, and for the first time, you're going to start them down their path. What does kind of that first visit kind of shape out to?
Yeah, that first meeting typically is just an educational meeting. I get a chance to find out some information about them, their goals, objectives, you know, what their investment experience is like. And then they can also kind of get a chance to interview me. You know, does it sound like it's going to be a good fit? Do we get along? Do we think the same? Or you know, personality-wise, a good fit. And so, and then it's really just boiling it down and you know, go with goals, objectives, time horizon, all those things, and then we start you know, figuring out what products or options make the most sense for them. And I deal with, you know, retirement planning is a big one, college planning, estate planning. You know, and one of the things I really enjoy is helping somebody sometimes after a loss of a loved one. You know, a spouse passes away, have the spouse come in, help them sit down and go through and say, all right, what do we have for accounts and where are they? And so I create an emergency file for them and just, here's where your stuff is at, so you know where it all is, and just keep track of it. And if you want to, share this with your kids and your children so they know and where everything is. But that's what it is. Just trying to help them organize their financial life, really.
Now, after everything's gets set up, organized, yeah, as you say, and everything, how does the relationship kind of further? Like, do you kind of reach out as needed? Do they reach out to you as needed? Kind of how did things go after that first visit?
Every situation is a little different. You know, some people want to meet quarterly, and we can do that. Some will want to meet annually or semi-annually. And so it really kind of dictates by the clients on their needs, how often they think they want to meet, or how often their financial situation is changing. If it's somebody young and just getting started, you know, we might only need to meet once a year. Just keep on track, make sure everything's up to date. And I encourage a lot of the clients to do a financial plan. Not everybody wants to do that, but it's a roadmap of, hey, here's where you're at today, here's where you want to go, what's the process, what's it going to look like to get there.
You know, I think that could probably be a little bit, a little, maybe a lot scary to some folks, because I mean, if you're trying to draw a map to like from where you are to where you want to be to where you're, you know, to the end of life, that kind of thing. You know, that's I don't know if anybody's ready for that truth a lot of times.
Well, it's a process, and you know, and the thing about that too is, you know, we talk about life insurance and those things, and also, you know, who your beneficiaries are and the passing on and of your legacy and your assets, and that's not always fun to talk about. You know, even like wills and trusts and things like that, we discuss some of those things, and obviously I have to refer them to an attorney for that stuff, but it's still, we have those conversations and prepare them for that, and so we dig deep. You know, that's the one thing too.
Yeah.
I sometimes know more about people out in the community and clients than the bank does, or maybe even their doctor, you know. You know, in some ways, I'm sort of the financial doctor, I guess you could say,
Right?
too.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Now, for those folks that are still kind of searching for a path in their career, you know, maybe they're maybe still in college, you know, maybe they're still in high school right now, and trying to be one of those that's looking to the future. What if they wanted to be, you know, where you're at right now? What are kind of some tips? What are some things that you think folks would need to, or kids would even need to focus on to get to, you know, to be on this path, to be in this kind of position?
I would say that probably the number one thing is really work on your social skills, because you have to be able to talk to people.
Yes.
You know, make eye contact and read body language and understand if they're, you know, there's a lot to be said from this and leaning forward and leaning back. And
Right, yeah.
So you got to learn some of that too. But again, communication skills are really what it's about. And then obviously you got to have some math background and some of the other things too. But you know, there's the big thing is you just have to be able and start paying attention to detail. You know, as I get older, I think this is something I'm getting better at. But you know, if I say I'm going to call you on December 22nd at 9 a.m., I better call you on December 22nd at 9 a.m. Or you know, same thing. You come in, I don't know everything, and so you come in and you ask me a question. Hey, you know what? I'll find out. I've got a resource. I'll give a call and get back to you, and then do the follow-up. So that's the big thing. I think it's just consistent, personable, and make sure that people understand you care what about them and what you're doing.
Yeah, you know, and again, I don't like using this phrase of like in this day and age of so much like social media, and everybody's afraid to talk to people and stuff like that. It can be hard to get out to break those habits and be willing to make yourself vulnerable, standing in front of a person. Who knew that could be a form of being vulnerable? But I mean, it kind of is, you know, doing this right here. We're being very vulnerable with you right now. So, talking with Kelly Meyer, United Prairie Financial Network, inside United Prairie Bank. Right, like I said, we're at that crook where 10th Street becomes McMillan, right across the street from the post office. So if folks want to get in contact with you, maybe start their financial journey with you, what do they got to do?
They could stop in at United Prairie Bank, and my office is right to the right, or give us a phone call, 507-376-3737. You can email too, but I really prefer a phone call. And you can leave a message and say, email me or get a hold of me this way. But again, I'm a little old school, and I like
I was just about to say,
you know?
yep, a little old school. Like, yeah, you know, human contact, it's old school.
Yeah.
Well, when you do come in, remember, make sure that you remind Kelly that you saw him right here on Focus Forward here on Studio 3.